And I'd like to welcome Santosh Nambiar up on stage. The Art of Conscious Balance, Breaking Free from Your Conditioned Self. Please put your hands together for Santosh Nambiar. Thank you.
Fantastic evening, guys. Thank you for this. I need to seek an apology from you. I'm a gate crasher. I happen to be in Bangalore today, and I'm visiting India, promoting this book, and flying out tomorrow. So I just had one day here and just did a search to see what I could do in Bangalore, and here I am. And I just need to thank Benedict and also Melody and other people for inviting me to actually talk about this book. Thank you. Now, what I'm talking about in this book is about the intellect versus the intelligence. What do I mean by intellect? Intellect is everything that we've actually acquired, borrowed, learned, read, and from our own experiences, stored away in the brain. And that is limited because it may work, it may not work. And that is useful for our survival. But if you want to really fully flourish and thrive, we need to go beyond this intellect. And that's what I'm calling it, the intelligence. And how do you consciously balance the intellect versus the intelligence is what I've actually mentioned in the book. And to give you an analogy, imagine a candlelight in a dark room. It lights up the room. Whereas if you actually draw the curtains and allow the sunlight to actually come into the room, the intensity of the candle is dwarfed by that of the sunlight. Now, we're kind of plugging into that flickering candle, and therefore we're kind of surviving. Whereas if you're able to plug into that profound intelligence, the sunlight in the analogy, then things kind of fall in place. And this is what happened to me. And I'm not a person who can write a book. I've written about 6 books, and this is my 6th book. And my vocabulary is very poor, and also, and I don't have a business acumen, and I have a biotechnology business in Melbourne, serving the scientific community, the molecular biology community in the universities in Australia and New Zealand. And we provide all the reagents and kits and enzymes for them to do the research and bring out some cure for cancer, Alzheimer's, and those kind of diseases before it actually ends up with the pharma companies. And what I'm talking about is that these are possible only because I was able to connect to that intelligence. And this is very relevant for the young entrepreneurs where, we are mostly seeking from an external environment. We're trying to gather something, we're trying to find something, we're trying to seek something. But if you actually go within and then from there actually look for solutions, things kind of fall in place because you're connecting to that space of greater knowing, what I call the intelligence. So the intellect versus the intelligence. Intellect is required for survival, whereas the intelligence is required for fully flourishing and thriving. So how do you consciously balance these two is what I'm talking about in the art of conscious balance.
All right, thank you so much, Santosh. Any questions? Can you pass the mic there? Right next, yeah.
Hello, sir. So you are talking about looking within, that concept. So it's very much in adherence with meditation, and because meditation and looking within goes hand in hand. So how do you connect that, and is meditation one of the techniques to increase intelligence? Is that you're implying?
May I know your name?
Srishti.
Srishti, I don't call it meditation at all. You can call it meditation if you want to, but this is kind of a way of life where, during our upbringing, we have forgotten to actually connect with that intelligence. And therefore, we're going back and connecting to that intelligence. And how do you connect to that intelligence rather than the conditioned intellect which has actually, overpowered this connection, is what I'm talking about. Therefore, as I'm speaking to you, I'm meditating, if you want to call that. But I don't want to call that term meditation. But I'm consciously aware that I'm speaking to you, and I'm consciously aware that I'm doing everything in that space of awareness. And therefore, something seems to be happening, manifesting. And as I said, I'm not a person who can write a book, and I'm not a person who can actually run a company, but things seem to be happening. And look at what's happening here. I have no idea how this manifested. And this was not what I was planning to do. But these kind of things kind of manifesting everywhere because I'm able to connect to that intelligence and at the same time being aware of the intellect, the limited intellect.
Any other questions? Please raise your hand. All right. Let's give Santosh Nambiar a very big round of applause. Thank you so much. Santosh, please remain. Requesting Mr. Shankar to kindly felicitate Santosh. Thank you once again, Santosh, and all the best. He's come all the way from Melbourne, and he's just here for a day, so he's gone back again. So it's a very fruitful day in Bangalore. Thank you once again. And that concludes our rapid new book launches.